Hi, I'm Elaine and welcome to my kitchen. Well, today we're going to be making an enchilada casserole, so I'm going to turn you down here to the stove where you can kind of see what I'm doing. Okay. Alright, so I have a pound of hamburger and I have a finely chopped onion, and I'm just going to brown those together. Now this recipe was actually given to me by a friend of mine on a recipe sharing website. Her name is Melanie, and Melanie was kind enough to give me permission to share this recipe with you. And so what I will do is in the comments I'll list all the ingredients, and I'm also going to put a link in there to Melanie's recipe so that you can make this at home yourself if you'd like. And just a special thanks to Melanie for sharing this with me and allowing me to share it. Okay, so we're going to get this hamburger browned. Okay, and it's just starting, my pan's just starting to heat up. And so I'm going to go ahead and get this hamburger cooked and get it browned, and when I do, I'll be back. Okay, my hamburger has browned, and I have drained it very well and squeezed as much of the grease out of this as I could. So let me turn you down here, and I'm going to show you what we're going to do next. Make that a little bigger so you can see better. There we go. Okay. Now turn this way a little. There. So what we're going to add to this now is 1 tablespoon of chili powder. Let me just get that, sprinkle that in. We're going to add 1 tablespoon of ground cumin, and I'm just going to get that put in there. And we're going to add 1 tablespoon of paprika. Okay. Get that. That is kind of stuck in there. Let's see if I can't get it. There we go. Okay. And there is our paprika. I'm going to add just a little more because I don't think that was quite a tablespoon. There we go. Okay, and I'm just going to kind of mix that around in here a little bit. And then to that, we're going to add 1 can of chili beans. And these are undrained. I'm just going to pour those right in. And we're going to get these mixed together. And this is going to be our filling. And what I'm going to do is divide this in half, because I'm going to use half on the bottom, and then we're going to make another layer with it. So we're just going to divide that in half. Okay, and I'm going to set this aside. Okay, and I have my casserole dish, and I'm going to get the rest of this ready to put together, and I'll be right back with you. Okay, I have this ready to get started now, and I have sprayed a 9x13 casserole dish with cooking spray because I don't want this to stick. And what we're going to do is we're going to pour a thin layer of red enchilada sauce in the bottom of our pan here. I'm just going to spread that around a little bit. And then we're just going to start putting in our tortillas. And this calls for 10 corn tortillas. So I'm just going to fix these in here just like that. Put one down here. Okay, and there is our bottom layer of the enchilada casserole. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to add is half of my ground beef mixture. And I'm just going to start spooning that right in, just like that. We're just going to kind of spread it around. Now I tried to do this recipe once before and on a video, and I was short some of the ingredients. So that was the video that wasn't. I did make a video even on that. So, but this time it's going to work because I have everything that I needed. And and it's going to do just fine. Okay, and now I'm going to sprinkle that layer with, I'm using sharp cheddar cheese. Her recipe actually calls for a combination of Monterey Jack cheese and sharp cheddar, which I didn't have any Monterey Jack, so I'm just going to use the cheddar. And I have done this before many times, and it does work out very well. So I'm just going to put, she calls for 8 ounces of cheddar cheese and 8 ounces of Monterey Jack cheese. So since I don't have that, I'm just going to use the cheddar. And we're going to start sprinkling that on top of this layer. Alright, and I'm going to pour some more red enchilada sauce on this. Now you don't want this to be soupy. You do want enough enchilada sauce to where it's going to be moist, but you don't want it to be soupy. Okay, so there was the first can. So it calls for 2 cans, and you probably won't use both cans. But you will need part of a second can anyway. Okay, and there's my next tortilla layer. And I'm going to put the rest of this meat on it, just like that. And Melanie, you will have to send me a message if I'm not layering this the way you want it. You meant for it to be layered, but this is usually the way I do it. So, and it comes out really good. I've had company over that, I've served this to company a few times, and they really enjoyed it. I think I made it for my children on a trip to Michigan too, and they really enjoyed it. Okay, so I'm just going to spread this out as evenly as I can. And put that last little bit. Alright. Okay. And I'm going to put another layer of cheese. I'm using a little more cheese because we like it pretty cheesy, so I'm going to use a little more on top here than I did in the center. Okay, and the last thing we're going to do is take a little more of that red enchilada sauce and just kind of pour it over, just like so. Okay, and I have about, looks like I have about a quarter of this can left, so I'm just going to set that aside, and I'll put that back in the refrigerator and use it in something else. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to do is take some aluminum foil, and we're going to cover this with foil. And it's going to bake for 40 minutes covered at 350 degrees. And then after it's baked in there for the 40 minutes, we're going to uncover it and let it go for about 10 more. And I'll be back to show you what it looks like. Okay, our casserole is done, and let me just turn you down so you can see what it looks like. Okay, there we are. And it was in the oven for a total of 50 minutes. It was baked covered for 40 minutes, and then it was another 10 uncovered, and this is what we got. So I am going to go ahead and let this sit just a minute, and I'm going to plate it up, and I'll be back with you in a little bit to show you what it looks like on the plate. Okay, and here is what it looks like on the plate. I served it on a bed of shredded lettuce, and I added some sliced tomato with some sour cream, and this is going to be my husband's plate, so I think he'll be very happy with it. So I just wanted to say thanks again to Melanie for allowing me to share her recipe, and incidentally, she won a blue ribbon very recently for this recipe, so I just want to congratulate her on that blue ribbon that she got, and this recipe is very well deserving of that blue ribbon. So I hope you'll try this recipe and let me know in the comments what you thought about it. So if you found this video helpful and you enjoyed my video, please like and subscribe to my channel, and don't forget to hit the message bell to be notified whenever I post new videos. So I thank you for watching and have a great evening. See you next time.